and an associate with Legal Shield. My wife, Kathy, and I, who you see over there in that picture, actually run our business from home, a little place that's called Ahwatukee, part of Phoenix. But we want to bring to light some businesses in the area that are somewhat unique, that has something about them that hasn't been done before, or at least something I haven't seen being done before. And today I am very, very excited about a guest that we're going to have with us. So let me go ahead and bring her into the room. I want to introduce all of you to a rather new friend of mine, Linda Cazares, who's a photographer, but with a bit of a unique twist. So, Linda, go ahead and introduce yourself to our guests.
I'm Linda Cazares with Virtual Impact Photography. And I'm really excited, Rick, that you asked me to do this. It's such a privilege and fun to be able to do this with you. And yeah, I think that we've really connected well over a very short period of time. So I just want to thank you.
We did indeed. And actually, I want to go ahead and give kudos to the person and the place that got us together. And that's Gelly Achenblit from Networking Phoenix. For those of you who have networked with me before, that's a very familiar name. And Gelly holds some unique online virtual networking groups because of COVID, obviously. She used to run these huge events that would have 1,000, sometimes 1,500, 2,000 people in a single room. We don't do too much of that these days, but right now we are definitely meeting virtually, and so that's fun and exciting too. And so we're going to go ahead here. I'm going to get my advertisements out of the way there and just say hello to Linda, and thank you to Gelly for introducing us, bringing us together in one of those virtual meetings. By the way, if you're looking for Gelly, it's G-E-L-I-E. She always says it's like Kelly with a hard G. And that's networkingphoenix.com. And you can find not only her events, but events that are going on all over the Phoenix Valley. Sometimes you can think of it like meetup.com, only for a very local place here in Phoenix. And so with that, let me turn my attention to my guest, Linda. Linda, the reason that I thought this would be a fantastic interview to start this series with is because you do something that is a little bit different from most photographers in that you're not in the same place with them. I mean, usually you see the photographer, you see the lights, you see the camera, and you see the subject of the photography right there in a single place. You do it differently. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I've been a photographer about 15 years now. And having come out of the high-tech industry, I always look for workarounds for business, for electronics, for how I conduct my business. So, 6 months ago when this whole COVID started out, I started looking around going, okay, is my business over or are there options? So I did a lot of research and finally found a technology that I use with my photography. Now, I have to say that right now it has to be iPhone-based clients. I'm working on Android and other options, but right now the system compatibility is with the iPhone. So I don't want to disappoint too many people. So what I do is almost a similar process to working with an in-studio or an on-location client. We start out first with an interview. What are their goals? What do they want to accomplish? How are they going to be using the photos? Do they want it to be casual, formal? Do they want props? Because a lot of it depends on if we're doing a headshot or personal branding. So we have that conversation, and at the same time, I do a walk around with them. So what that means is they walk around with their iPhone while I'm watching where they are so that we can pick out the best backgrounds, the best lighting, It's important that the face be lit up or the light comes from the front or the sides. I've even worked with clients where I've sent them lights, local clients, of course, but I've sent them ring lights just because we're going to be doing an extensive photo shoot, like one I just did for an Amazon reseller, which was pretty exciting. All
Wow.
right, so then we start the process. If it's a headshot, we'll do that right away. The whole process really takes maybe in total about an hour and a half, including start to finish and delivery of the photos. So things can be turned around pretty quickly, which I could never do before when I was live. So we do the photos. And then what I do is I do a quick review of what we've done. And again, if it's a headshot, I call them back right away on a Zoom call, because then I can show them my screen. We go through, we pick the photos they want, end a call, I edit and send it back to them. So it's been, I mean, it's just been amazing. I don't know what you can see behind me, but I have clients from Alabama, Buenos Aires, California. I mean, it's just been exciting. I'm doing a yoga instructor, stylist, coaches. So it's been really more than I ever expected. In fact, frankly, I'm busier now than I was before, which is a good thing. A good
It
thing.
it is,
You
especially
know,
in this environment.
yeah, and I know it's really tough for a lot of people, and I want to be really excited, but I know that there are a lot of people having trouble out there and can't always change their business the way I've been able to. And I hope we resolve this whole situation very quickly.
Well, that's it, when I looked at it, it fascinated me that basically you're doing the kind of photography work that you've always done,
Uh-huh.
but you're doing it remotely, which means several different things. For one thing, you can have a client literally in, I don't know, Beijing or
Yeah.
in Bogota or anywhere in the world, and you can provide them with pretty darn close to a regular professional photography shoot. I mean,
Yeah.
these little devices that we carry around, where's mine, in our pocket or our
Yeah.
purse or wherever we keep them, it have such good technology built into them, but obviously the thing that's not built into the phone is that professional expertise of where do you stand? How do you stand? How do you turn that head, for that particular shot that you're looking for? And is the lighting just right? Is it going to make that photograph turn it from a snapshot to a work of art that really portrays you and in your best light?
So,
Unintended.
so something I should add to this, because a lot of people are, even after the explanation I gave, what I didn't say is that I do control the shutter. This is not something that are selfies that I've helped them pose. I actually control the shutter,
Hmm.
and that I have them set up their iPhone with certain settings, and I take the photo from my computer. And then what happens is their photos then go into my iCloud database. So that's the database I work from, that I call the best ones and all. So I wanted to make sure I clear that up, because otherwise it sounds like selfies, and it's nothing like a selfie.
Yeah, yeah, and that is important because I mean, regardless of how well I pose or pucker in doing that selfie thing, it's like, wow, look at how big that shoulder is coming
Right,
forward.
right, right.
And you definitely, if you're branding yourself now, but hey, selfies have their place, in my humble
Oh,
opinion,
absolutely.
but
Yeah, I
but
do
it
selfies.
yeah, sure, but it's not necessarily your best foot forward if you're trying to brand yourself. You're trying to portray a certain image within the context of what you're doing, and the fact that you can do this all remotely and in such a short window of time is to me the thing that makes you so unique from a business model perspective. And
So,
so that really is the thing that just captured my attention,
yeah, yeah.
because you've taken something I mean, I pride myself in being with a company who's taken something that is very eh, commonplace in that it's been around for years and years, but they do it differently and they deliver the service differently. So, and a lot of businesses are like that these days.
Yeah.
They're taking ideas that have been around forever, but they're delivering the service in a new and unique way, in a way that becomes more affordable, becomes cheaper, that becomes faster, more efficient. Whatever they've done with that marketplace, we don't go to stores and rent those little squares and pop them into a box anymore to for our Friday night entertainment. We push a button on our TV and we download and stream all kinds of stuff. So it's just a better world. So, and by the way, for those of you watching this, wherever you see this posted, whether YouTube or Facebook, down in the comments below or with the text that's next to the video, make sure you check out some links that I'm going to post. And Linda, you actually have some videos that we're going to post there that show you in action. So
Uh-huh.
you can see you've got shutter control, and I thought that was very unique in the way that you did that.
So
So go ahead.
sorry, no, I was just going to say that with us being home a lot, many people, what I've also found is that these photo sessions have brought families together, or not families who are apart, but they have their kids sometimes on the other side of the camera going, okay, mom, here's what she meant, or hey, dad, or husband and wife. So it becomes a really family oriented, interactive session a lot of the time. And I
Mhm.
think that's pretty cool.
Okay. All right. Good. 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 And I'm assuming that based on all of this, family portraits would not be out of the question.
Definitely not. I've done some school photo shoots recently too for parents who don't want their kids going into uh, group rooms where 100 kids are in line waiting to have their photos taken. So that was a whole new area I hadn't anticipated.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm sure that with all of the problems that schools are having right now in reopening, and having to shut back
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
and so forth, that your service is going to be highly prized with the school systems, companies needing to get their people's headshots taken care of for
Uh-huh.
company documentation, um, just all kinds of scenarios. And the fact that you can do that, we've all had to learn to work remotely. We certainly have in my business learned to, provide the information that we provide on a remote basis. We still can go out if the client wants that, but we can also deliver that through mediums like what we're doing this recording right now. So um, before all of this hit, what was your favorite type of photography? What did you specialize in pre-COVID?
Well, when I started photography, I went, all right, landscape. So I found that I couldn't focus down enough. I admire people who can take beautiful landscapes. So then I started, my first favorite was doing boudoir with women who wanted to create photos of themselves for themselves or their other half. And then it became more of a family orientation. So I did that for years. I've got clients going back 12 years or so. And that was terrific. But then I kind of moved over. My roots are really in high tech and business to business. So while doing headshots and doing personal branding may sound business to consumer, it's also pretty much business to business. And I have to tell you that doing it this way has it just spiked my creativity because there are so many elements that I have to pre-think and work with clients. So specialty, now like we just mentioned, headshots, personal branding. I'm loving doing families. I've got some coming up for fall for Christmas cards, and like I said, Amazon. I'm doing shoots for Amazon products. I did one the other day for a blanket company, and they wanted it done with models. So he got models, put them in on a couch, and we did this whole thing from where I'm sitting right here. He had sent me his products, so I did in studio the products, but it's, I've been told to niche down. I'm having a problem with that because there's like so many opportunities and there's a world, it's like
Yeah.
I belong to local groups. I'll tell you, Gillies, by the way, is the best group I've ever belonged to, but and she does have people from out of state, but at any rate, yeah, I mean, it's just the whole world is my oyster, if I can use that cliche.
Oh, absolutely. And I guess, the whole thing about niching down is for that person having trouble getting started. And it sounds like, the big trouble you have is a lot like me. It's like, the only problem I have is, that clock, the number of hours
Yeah.
on it. It's like, I can occupy all of them. I
Oh,
don't have
yeah.
to sleep. I don't have to eat. I don't have to do anything else. So you're probably running into that problem right now. But there's a lot of folks out there, I'm sure, who are going to be watching this and thinking, wow, I could really, sounds like Linda's got some services that I could really use, whether you are a new business owner, an existing business owner, you're looking at creating that branding for, and I've seen some of your videos, so I know that you work very, very well with like people who are doing yoga, who are looking, to get those special poses in, but getting the right lighting, all of those types of things that you've got the capability of doing with this remote
Yeah,
photography.
it's exciting.
So what
Yeah.
do I have to have? If I want to be Linda's client, you said I need an iPhone.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that leaves me out. I'm an
Oh,
Android
I'm
person.
sorry. Well, do you know anybody who has an iPhone? See, that works too. You can borrow an iPhone. How's
Well,
that?
that's such a good point
Yeah.
because, which is exactly why I wanted to bring that up. It's like if you've got an iPhone or if you know somebody, it doesn't have to be your iPhone
Right.
as long as they're willing to let you borrow it.
Sure.
You've got the device needed. Is there a certain level of iPhone that they need to have?
I've worked with as far back as iPhone 7, and
Okay,
the quality was just as good. I have an iPhone 11, but I do anyway because I use it for scouting and whatnot, or did. So an iPhone 7 and beyond. Now I have to
okay,
say I have done Android, but the process is so different that I just want to wait until I have a much better solution that's a little cleaner
yeah.
and slicker, like I do with the iPhone.
Yeah, yeah, and I can understand that. I mean, once you've got a process laid out, the last thing you want to do is throw some new widget into it, like an Android, and have it change the entire process. So,
I
uh,
gotta say though, the Android camera is pretty spectacular. So, it has nothing to do with quality at all. It's just process that I'm working on right
yep,
now.
yep, absolutely. So if I've got an iPhone 7 or beyond, or I know somebody who does, and
Yeah.
I want to have a photo shoot with Linda where she tells me, no, Rick, turn that way, or, chin up, or, whatever it is to
Uh-huh.
perfect that picture, so that it creates the image that I want to portray. Then what's next? How do I get a hold of you?
You get a hold of me by giving me a call at 480-353-9415, or you can email me at Linda Cazares, Kazares.com, or you can go to my website, which is Linda Cazares, and on there is a calendar. So you can actually book yourself in either for a consult or actually book a headshot, and I will take it from there.
Okay, awesome, awesome. That makes it easy. And of course, we'll have all of that in the links once again around our video here so that you can find that and just click on it easily. And we might even do a little bit of post-processing here and put it across the bottom of the screen. So But let me see. Is there anything else that that I need to ask? What about planning? I mean, I'm here obviously in my home office. You're in yours. If I'm thinking about doing one of these photo shoots,
Uh-huh.
um, you talked a little bit about this in the beginning. Uh, how does that process work? Are you going to come to my house and look through things and see, here's the best place, Rick, to take these photos? Or how does that happen?
No, that's going to be part of that initial walkthrough when we're talking about what their goals are. I work with them on clothing also, best colors that'll show up. But we also coordinate that with, as we're walking around, for a headshot, usually, 90% of the time it's going to be a blank wall of some sort. But again, depending on color, we want to make sure that the client stands out. So if it's a beige wall, we don't want to wear beige.
Hmm.
And I always work with them also on eye color, their goals, casual, not casual. So at any rate, so your area would be okay. Probably a lot of stuff going on, but it would be okay if you were, especially if you're doing a personal branding photo shoot.
Hmm.
Your guitar is awesome. You have all the books. The picture behind you is great. So that would be one place, and the lighting is okay. Um, it's always good to have like a big window light. I have a big, if I put my hand, you can see I have a big window light there. I have overhead lights so that I've got all my shadows covered. I'm like, I'm a visual. I have to make sure I look good too. Anyway, so that's the process. I did a woman in Albuquerque 2 days ago. And the first day we were there, it was kind of hot for her. And we did the photo shoot. And I went, you know what? We need to do something outside. So we actually booked a second appointment and went outside. And, it turned out both of them were great for very different reasons. So, we can go with different effects based on where the light is, what the background is. And sometimes I can erase a little background too. Anyway.
Okay. All right. So you can do some post processing of
Oh,
your
yeah.
own
Oh, yeah.
and making sure that those photographs are just right. Okay.
And the photographs are best suited to using them digitally. I
Hmm.
know that these can be printed, but it's just much better digitally. Since we're at a distance, it's not like, I have thousands of dollars worth of camera equipment here that are sharp, take less of the editing. So at any rate, this process is just perfect for digital, for headshots, for resumes, for product introductions, personal branding. I mean, it's just turned out to be a phenomenal option for my clients.
Okay. 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 So there's another good possibility. People who are out there doing resumes for people who n- are encouraging folks, hey, get yourself a professional headshot.
Right.
Uh, what I like,
HR firms, I'm sorry.
yes, no, and what I like about it is that this erases most of the problems and objections people have about going and getting a professional headshot, finding a photographer, setting up the appointment, going to the location, getting the shoot, waiting for the post processing to get back. All of that is going to happen in a far shorter time frame and with a whole lot less complication. All those
Definitely.
fossil fuels not burnt.
And my clients, even sometimes, even though we go through clothing and whatnot, sometimes they just run to their closet because we went, oh, wow, wouldn't that be great? So they're like right there where all their equipment is, because about 80-90% of these take place in my clients' homes, either
Oh,
home
okay.
office,
That,
or that's
that
just the kind of environment
That's
they want.
neat. So in other words, if we're going and you tell me, well, Rick, that purple really just it's not your color.
But it is,
Uh,
but okay.
I could say, well, what works? I always say, have you got anything that's black, or have you got
Yeah,
anything that's red, or
yeah.
and it's, oh, I know, I've got it at home across town. No, it's
Right.
right in the other room. So that's pretty cool. That's
Yeah.
neat. So, well, this has been a lot of fun. I've
Oh, it has. It's been
enjoyed
great.
talking about you, about your business, and we've let people know how they can get a hold of you. So, is there anything else that you would like to add that we haven't covered so far?
You've been so good at this. You have been so good at pulling it out of me. You're a better marketing tool than I am. Uh, well, all I can say is that doing a virtual photo shoot is a must-have experience now in the new normal. I mean, it's the new normal. It's also the ultimate social distancing. So if you, the viewers, are interested in that safety factor, in the convenience factor, then I'm your girl. If you don't mind going to a studio or whatever, then I'm sure there are a lot of good photographers out there who are open and happy to take you into their studio. But for now, I'm sitting down.
All right. Well, that's fantastic. Well, Linda, it has been really special meeting with you
Oh,
today.
thank you.
And I've enjoyed the heck out of it. So, thank you for the compliments. And for those of you who out there who are needing photography, make sure you connect with Linda and find out about that. Again, the links are going to be there, but especially, just go to that lindacazares.com. That's Linda, Linda, Cazares, Kazares.com, and take a look at her work. Take a look at the links that we post along with this video, and consider using those services, because I think it's going to be powerful for your branding, for your business. Those headshots that you need, realtor offices, hello, are you listening? You need new headshots for all of those realtors who have their high school pictures on their cards.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure.
So, it's not Throwback Thursday. This is Wednesday when we're recording. So, just make sure you utilize those services and enjoy. And once again, my name is Rick Allen. I am an independent Legal Shield associate, along with my beautiful wife, that you can see in my picture on the
I
screen
love that
there
picture.
now.
Love
Thank
that
you.
picture. It's so
Thank you.
loving between you and your wife. It's such a loving pose. I love it.
Oh, I tell you what, she's an incredible woman. I have to give her kudos. She's lived with me for 47 years. So, if she can do that, she is an angel, right? But so, and just so everybody knows, what we do is simply we protect small business owners,
Yeah.
because sometimes small businesses, even home-based businesses, have big business problems. So if we can help you with any of that, we'd be more than happy to. Linda, it's been an
Thank you,
absolute
Rick.
pleasure. Thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
me today.
Thank you. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Okay, goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.